Hey everybody, this is Scotty with Sketchy's Garage, and today we're working on the turd mugger. Let's check it out. This week's upgrades, we decided to go with the MSD ignition. That's what the popular vote was. So we went ahead. We don't have the distributor in yet, but we got the box mounted and the wiring started and stuff like that. I was just pressed from time and wanted to get a video in tonight. We did a few other things on the old car. We got all the headlights on it, got them working so we can see coming back down the return lane. I got an alternator on it, so hopefully we won't have to take the battery charger and generator and all that fun stuff. This window right here wasn't rolling up and down good. You had to assist it. We went ahead and changed the regulator, got it working properly. And then back in here we got the tail lights and stuff working, at least one side working. That way we don't get kicked off the track. Last time when we took it out, we blew a brake line. The one that goes from under the car from the front to the back. We just pinched it off at the drag strip. But we went ahead and got that fixed up and got some rear brakes again. So we're making some headway on the old car. We decided we're going to go ahead and take 3 sets of slicks with us too. We're going to take some, these right here are 28s. We're going to go ahead and take some 26s also. And then we also got a set of 29 5s. So we're going to try all 3 pairs out, see if there's any difference between them. The main thing is we just want to see how much the ignition helps us. We'll get that determined and then we'll start changing tires. We're doing it like that because we're trying to do an upgrade a week, and we ended up losing a week because of the JJ arm drops races. So we're just going to try to do that and get caught back up. If you don't know about the car, we dug it up out of the field. Been sitting since 1987. The old boy who had it before us used to race it. Had a small block and a 4-speed. That also came with the car. Me and Pops are toying with the idea of fixing it up and putting it back in there and kind of see what he was running, or close enough to what he was running. Our main goal with this car is we bought it for $1,800 and we want to try to go 690s for under $6,900. So we got a long way to go. Our first outing, I think we went at $875 for a best pass. We had a couple issues. We had the A-arms on both sides. The bushings was beat out of them. So the top of second gear, it started to get a pretty good wobble to it. Hopefully that takes care of that. And up here at the cap, it was arcing like crazy between these 3 wires. So we know it was causing some misfire. So hopefully the MSD will take care of the misfire. We'll see what that does for us. We'll play with the timing a little bit more too. Because like I say, we basically just threw this thing together as fast as we could. I think we did it in 4 or 5 days. And didn't really tune on it any. Basically we set the timing by it starts and went. So we'll take it from there. You guys gave us some guidance on where to set the timing. We'll try them marks and see what happens. Thanks for watching, and if you would go back and check this thing out from the very beginning so you can kind of get caught up and understand the premise. Thanks for watching. I'm going to show you guys how to make a little panel to do that. Kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We got this big hole from our heater box. So we'll just make a nice, easy little flat panel to mount the box on and cover up that hole. Okay, I got just a piece of panel, cut it to size. It's 10.5 by 17. Anytime you're working with sheet metal and you cut it, make sure you take a file and run across your edge and knock it down, especially if you're using tin snips or something like that. It'll leave a burr up there and it can cut you pretty bad. And also on your corners, don't let it come to a complete 90. Take a nib it a little bit and then hit across it with the file so it don't have a sharp edge. This right here, we're just going to put just a simple little bead roll up, just to pop it up. If we was gonna try to pop it up real high, we'd have to take and put this in an English wheel and stretch it out. But we're just gonna try to lift it up a little bit, so we won't have to do that. Let's go ahead and take this over to the wheel. This is it's a Bailey bead roller. It's just like the Miltner Brothers one. It's a 36 inch. The only difference between the two is this one right here is machined, and you can take and change your washers in and out, so you can change the spacing of these. So you can change the actual width of your bead if you want to. Of course, the tighter you put them two right there together, the tighter it's going to be right here. And the further you put it apart, the further apart it could be right there. I think you can go probably to a 1/2 inch step on it. I'm going to go ahead and bead roll this up. I usually just take and put it in there, run this down until it's got pressure on it, and then make it one turn after that. And most of the time you won't have no problems. If you go ahead and make it tighter than that, a lot of times what it'll do is it'll make this panel want to do like that real bad, and same with this way. But normally you can go up to a turn and a half and not have no issues. You can also start at one turn, then put another 1/2 turn in it, run it around again, another 1/2 turn, and it does a lot better. But if you want a real deep bead roll in it, you're better off just running it across the English wheel first and stretching it a fuzz. As you can see, it slightly raised it up just a little bit. I think I'm going to go ahead and put another pass on it. I'm actually only raising it up because there's a spot right there that's the sheet metal's folded over, and I'm hoping to get by without having to cut that lip off. So I'm going to go ahead and run another pass through it. Alright, now you can see it's got a whole lot more definition to it and popped out a lot bit more. This piece of metal is actually a little bit thicker than I wanted to use. I could have swore I had some black aluminum, but I didn't have a piece big enough, so I just went with this. I'm going to go ahead and mount the MSD box on this, and a little bit of probably the coil, and maybe a positive stud on it. I'm going to do that, and I'll get back with you guys. As you can see, we made this quick little panel. It took up roughly 20-30 minutes. Before y'all start giving me some flack about not painting it, got to remember what it's going on, and we're on a real tight budget. I don't think we could spare the weight or the money for the paint. I'm going to take this over to Pops's, and I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit. But we decided to put this together the way we did, because if you go out and want to start a project and pull it completely apart and then take the time to do everything right, you'll be into that project for about 5 years, 2 divorces, and $100,000 if you were starting with a car like this. We was like, hey, let's just get us a car, throw it together, start having some fun with it, and then fix one system at a time and see what happens. I got a lot of people who started asking a lot of questions. They started watching at about episode 5 or 6. So I'm going to just give a real quick rundown of what we're doing. This car was sitting in a field in Nowhere, Kentucky for about 30 years. We got it, brought it in the shop, decided, hey, we want to go racing. We threw it together on the dirt cheap. I think we had about $4,000 in it, pretty much, all in with the cost of the car and all the stuff to do it. And then we got a goal of we want to run 690s for $6,900 all in with real world prices. You know, not, hey, we bought a big block for $100 from our buddy Elroy that makes 1,500 horsepower. This is all stuff you could go to Craigslist right now, buy, and basically build it. You know, there's no special concessions.